I forgot about this meeting. Hi, everybody. And the internet was not working.
Hey, Michelle, how's it going?
Hey, it's going. Sorry, everybody. I forgot about it until right up on the moment, and then my internet did not work. I am sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Okay, let's see. Admit. I'm trying to get people's videos working. Admit all. How are you doing?
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Hey.
It's good to see everyone's faces.
Definitely. All right. Where is our class? All right, I'm gonna stop my video and I'm gonna mute.
Put my video stop. Why would it do that to me?
There. Hey.
Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get my video on my phone. Let's see. I made it. Oh, hey, I'm right there. Okay, let's see. All right, cool. Can everybody hear me?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Let's see. Let me make sure this is turned off so it's not.
Let me ask Michelle, have you spotlighted is it Ariel?
Yeah.
Okay, to make sure that her video stays up, even if some of us may talk or ask questions in the interim, so that our faces won't come up and distract from what she's trying to describe in imagery on her doll.
Spotlight. Let's see.
You can also click on Ariel's, the little 3 dots, and pin her video, and that lets each of you make sure that she's always big, even if someone else is talking. I Zoom a lot.
We started out Zooming, and we have a professional, the paid for Zoom thing, but they wouldn't let us use it anymore. So I am not totally skilled at it.
Okay, so let's do this. Since we are just a smidge behind. Just a smidge.
Thanks, Emily, for the pro tip. We're all learning so much during this time of physical distancing.
You ready?
Yeah.
I don't have to mute myself. I can't hear myself twice. That would be crazy. There we go.
So what are you putting in now?
It's just water. Just consider it water.
Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something.
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Just call it water. My name is Ariel. I've been a hairdresser for 4 years. And I tend to specialize in texture or texture manipulation. So, a couple of things to keep in mind, because we've done these classes in person a couple times, and a lot of the challenges have been.
Is that just a statement?
Oh, who is that? That's adorable. Who is this? I had to lock my child in her room with her father. because she would be quite wild on Zoom. My thing is, if you are in, or if you're trying to be authentic, most of these women at the time did not have professional hairdressers who they went to all day, every day. They might maybe at the most come once a week for that initial set, but they had to maintain that set on their own. They did not have curling irons. They did have rollers though, and rollers is a good cheat. But everything started from a wet set for a very long time until they started getting perm and chemical treatments to adjust the way that their texture is. So I'm just going to show you. Can everybody, you can't see, hold on. Please tell me if you can't see or if everything isn't as clear as it should be. Can everybody see?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So, and if I would like you to maybe, because I have the chat on my computer, if you have very curly, super curly, kinky curly hair, just let me know in the chat box. It's not like, it's actually easier for you to do a wet set, depending on your goal. But I am going to very briefly show you how a wet set will work on somebody who has fairly fine, not bone straight, but pretty straight hair. Something that I want you to remember when it comes to the size of the curl is that these curls from the 20s and 30s were very small. Now, I'm super lazy, and I know that about myself. So if you have a lot of hair and you want to say, save yourself time and pin, because a lot of our girls, when we used to practice live, what we would do is we would pin bigger pin curls in the back of the head, because most of this is going to be pinned up and tucked away. You can totally do that. But up front, I need everybody to focus on having those curls as authentic or as close to the desired style as possible, which is pretty small. It's usually like 2 fingers at most for your pin curl set. Her hair is 60% wet. I've also learned that if you have never done a wet set before, you will realize that it will take you days to dry, and that is normal, and that's how it's supposed to be. Because if you're air drying and you have those curls tightly wound, there's no air getting through, so it just takes longer for them to dry. Anyone who gets roller sets, anybody who's gotten wet pin curl sets would know this already. So you can either, if your hair is straight, you can start from dry hair and then apply a certain amount of water so that you have that flexibility that the water gives you, and then apply your mousse. And if your hair is curly, you can start from wet hair. You can soak and mold to the desired look that you want. And if you need to stretch your hair, that is totally up to you. But I will say, if you stretch your hair and it's very curly, if you're in your house, it's fine. But once you step out in the humidity, we both know that that hair will revert and change depending on where you are. So, super easy. Curls are going to go towards your face. You're going to want to make sure you have enough product. I'm going to put some back. Let me make sure everybody. You want to make sure that there's enough product that that hair feels slick. Take 2 fingers. Roll them around. And pin. That's really it. I don't know. Get that a little closer. wish we could see like I want you to see. But yeah, like that's it. It's super easy. Use your fingers, 2 fingers, unless you have like overly large fingers for some reason. 2 fingers is all you need. Don't take too much hair. If you take too much hair, you will not have as much definition in your curl. If you have thick hair and you know you have thick hair, you need smaller sections. Questions off the bat. Anything that looked like that's not achievable, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Anything that you've done on your own and been like, that's not really working for me. Anything at all. Y'all are all muted. Y'all can talk.
Hey, I have a quick question. Okay, so you said that because that's true. Like when you say stretching, basically, say if I were to try to do a pin curl, does it matter that you're using these really nice professional metal clips, or doing maybe two clips, or to do a bantu knot, but would it still come out with that nice pin curl kind of style if you have fine but very curly coily hair?
Cool, good question. So
That was a lot, sorry.
no, it's all good. So I also have this issue. My hair is quite pinned up today. But what I would usually do, if I want my look to mirror all those photos, it would probably take, to be completely honest, I don't know if I like that. It would probably take, I wish I could see it. I need to see if I can pin it with, let y'all see it. It would take me, or it would take you having a twist out or braid out and then doing your bantu knot so that you can see that pattern from the curl. Because if there's too much of your original curl pattern left in the set, it's not gonna look bad. It's just not necessarily gonna look maybe how you want it. So if you do bantu knot, it would be similar. Not exactly the same, but it would be similar. So if you had to pick pin curls, I've seen girls with coily hair do pin curls, and it doesn't look. However, like I said, that natural curl pattern isn't stretched enough for it to be executed the same way. So yes, bantu knots, or I would even say, because that hair is really short, like that hair is supposed to be around your ear, really like mirroring your hairline as far as length. So you can even do perm rod sets, like a wet perm rod set, so that you're able to get that curl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you don't have to maybe stretch it as much. So you, because like I said, your hair will revert back if you stretch it too much. It's a lot harder for you to maintain that style. So a perm rod set would probably be ideal for you. Yeah, like orange.
Orange. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. That would be my first thought on that one. So sorry. I feel like y'all can't see that. I'm trying to think. So if y'all can't see my technique as well as
I have a question. Did you say Bantu wrap? What is a Bantu wrap?
Bantu knot is a technique if you have kinky curly hair that we use to manipulate our curls to make them appear larger. It's like a roller set without rollers, which is the same thing a pin curl set is. You can do them if you have straight, wavy, curly hair. I can show you links to them. I have done them on women with straight hair. The pros to that are, once you get it, I can do one now. Well, I play games. We can do one now. We got time. The pros to doing a bantu knot are that once you do them, they're very quick and easy, and they will give you curls. However, depending on how long your hair is, they could be difficult to sleep in. That's also something your scalp has to be trained with. The same with pin curls, because I did a New Orleans Fashion Week, and we had to do bantu knots, and that extra tension on one of the model's scalp, like, almost caused her to cry. That's like a super extreme example. However, the less texture you have in your hair, the harder it is to maintain that set until it's 100% dry. So you could totally try it. I don't know what tribe that originated from. It is totally a no heat option for curls though. And depending on your texture, it's easier for some than for others. If I was doing a Bantu knot with coarse girl hair, let me focus. While I'm doing this, let me focus back on things to keep in mind when you're doing this set. If you have very thick hair, like I said, maybe start from completely dry hair and then apply that water as you need. If you have very thin hair, do not apply any water. Just apply your mousse or your wrap lotion, because we already know that your hair doesn't like to hold and doesn't have the memory on its own. So we're going to really be depending on that product to provide you with all your strength, if that makes sense. If you have a hooded dryer, that's awesome. Use those. I've had chorus girls who have had to march, and I've done her hair, and her hair is so thick. It's thick and wavy. And I did her hair, and she sat under the dryer for 2 hours, and then she still, there we go, let it dry for the rest of the day. And the parade wasn't until the next day. And that's simply because that's the nature of the set. That's a Bantu knot. There you go.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you so much for showing that. That is actually my preferred method of curling my hair, except I have a hard time, especially when my hair is shorter, getting it pinned. You've made it just seem so easy and stays so nicely, but my hair does not like to stay in the pins.
Okay, I feel that.
I did not know that's what it's called, though, so I'm glad I have a name for it now.
Yeah, it was a Bantu knot. Oh, what else could I say? Bantu knots and pin curls are nice. What would I say about that specific set that Amy is, that's the only thing Amy's pretty strict about, just to go over the general concept. She wants that hair to come over that left eye. So an easy cheat code, because if you've done your pin curl sets, what you'll notice is if you put all your pin curls or your Bantu knot or your twist set, whatever you do, your rollers, if you put a lot of them on the crown of your head, up here on top or around your part line here, this is supposed to be sleek. This is supposed to kind of stay on that skin, so to speak. This is a bang area. It's supposed to look like a bang area. But if you're putting rollers here and giving yourself volume at the root up here, it's a lot harder for you to set that hair correctly. So a cheat that I have, dang, I shouldn't have touched that with wet hair. My bad. A cheat that I have done, and what I recommend for ladies, do your small curls if you want that the right size. But when it comes to this bang area, especially if you are, let's say, parading or actually in a performance and you're wearing the hat and the pins that we wear a lot of the time, put that product on. Make sure to distribute your products. Most of the time, you cannot have too much. You probably have added too little, especially the way that we do hair these days. And all you would need to do is, make sure y'all can see, and not mess up my other pin curl. Actually, I could probably take them down. Slick that and let that dry that way. I know that feels like crazy and counterproductive, but you do not want that volume there. And the thing you have to remember about curls is that if you put a lot of volume at that base or at the root, then you're gonna have that volume to fight later on. And it will not go away. It's the best part about wet sets. Once you put that volume at that root, that's where it's gonna be. That's where it's staying. It ain't going nowhere. Congratulations, that's it. So if you have, let's say you're doing a day-to-day style and you're like, yes, this is what I want big hair. That's fantastic. But if I have even something like a Bantu knot like this, and it's all around my crown, we're gonna have big hair all around our crown. But for this set in particular, they tend to want this to be a lot flatter. I don't know if y'all saw those images. All this tended to be a lot flatter and closer to the scalp. And then once we got around right above that ear and around that parietal ridge, which is the sides of our head, all of this is big and voluminous. So that's where you want to focus those pin curls. And then as a cheat, you could just, I'm still going to apply more because I don't trust it. Two fingers, and y'all still see me scooting over. 2 fingers, rolling up, and then pinning here. Like so. A little straggler. But you see, rather than you having to do pin curls all here, all throughout the top of that head, you don't have to do that. I have a diagram. I think Laura made one time, and it, like I said, all this is flat, and all this is curls. And that'll give you the best look, or the most authentic chorus girl look. Question that comes up while I'm thinking about it. Pin curl clips over, why can't I think of the name? Bobby pins? It doesn't matter. Live your life. I am not here to like make you use something that you don't want to use. If you got that at home, use that at home. I support it. You do whatever makes you feel good. However, the only reason they made pin curl clips is because the bobby pins have those ridges on top, and those ridges tend to put ridges in your hair when it sets. So they do have bobby pins that are straight on both sides. Those are a better option. They also have like giant pin curl clips. Those are also an option. They're all available at like Sally's, beauty supply stores. They're all very widely available. Do whatever feels good. I'm not here to be like, you need to use this. That's not what it's about at all. Like at all. Let's see, I'm gonna need to dry my hands off. Yes, ma'am.
Once we're done pin curling our hair, do you recommend like wrapping it or anything for when you go about day to day or to go to sleep? Or just kind of let it be?
Okay, so back in the day, I'll tell you what they did back in the day. Back in the day, they reset their pin curls before they went to sleep at night. They tied it up in a scarf and they went to sleep. In order to keep if you wanted the longevity to last for 5 to 7 days, you did have to do that. Now, I will say you didn't necessarily have to have the same size pin curls. You could probably cheat like I did in the back and have larger ones. But no, if you wanted it to be like day 1 hair for 5 days, then you would probably need to just like, and we even do this now, women who get curls, they get bigger barrel curls now. If you go to sleep with pin curls at night, just dry. You don't need to add any new products. You don't need to like rebrush it or take out any keys you put in it. You don't have to do any of that, but you do have to repin them. Or you could not, and it'll evolve on its own and the curls will slowly drop. So it all just depends on the look that you want. If you want to maintain that look, then you need to pin it. It takes like 15 minutes. It's not that bad. But yes, repin it, please. And then tie your scarf up and then wake up in the morning. It's like if you've seen Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, if you ever watch, just like watch one episode and like she wakes up in the morning and her hair is always tied up. That's just how it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see.
Ariel, in the chat room, they are asking, we have some questions. Someone asked what type of product you are using. They may have missed it. And what mousse do you recommend?
Oh, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Who is that? Thank you for moderating. Hey, thank you. So in the post, Laura lives and dies by a lot of body setting spray. Works on all textures. It is consistent. It doesn't flake. It's good. I like that one. If you have a mousse at your house, you can use that. I am using Bonner Brothers moisturizing wrapping lotion. This is what I used to use when I used to get roller sets all the time. Either one is good. 90% of the ingredients are the same. What would I say the biggest difference is? If you're using a setting lotion, one where you have to add water or cut it with water, you usually get to customize your strength. So if you know you're someone who needs a stronger hold, then you want to use more of that setting lotion and less of that water. And maybe that's what you need. If you're somebody who's like, I'm fine, it's not that big a deal, it's not that serious for me, you can buy, and I can always put this in the group, a foam wrap lotion like this that's already mixed, and you'll still get very good results. If you are someone who, I always say at the very least do 1-to-1. So one part of the Lotta Body and one part of the water. Lotta Body is made to give you memory, and if you cut it too much, then it's kind of like, what's the point? And I would say to use modern mousse, but most modern mousses are made for how women want to wear their hair now, which is usually like touchable. You don't necessarily feel that product. You don't have the longevity because you want touchable, feelable hair. And that's not the hair that we are working with now. They did their hair to last and to perform. And so that product was a lot stronger and it had a lot more firmer hold. So I do recommend that you get a mousse specifically for a wet set. And I will totally type in later on in the Facebook group mousses that I like. If you have kinky hair, I have done finger waves and wet sets with like Eco Styler gel. That's totally an option, but we know Eco Styler gel flakes, so be mindful of that. And we also know that that's going to be a lot firmer of a hold. Like I would tell girls who have the thickest hair, if you're going out and parading and we're going to be out for 6 hours and you know your hair's not going to stay with a lot of body, then use Eco Styler gel. But that is like last resort. That's like my hair isn't going anywhere. Eco Styler gel. Look that up. It's always fun because we have a lot of good styles with Eco Styler gel. Let's see. Did I miss any other questions?
Do you have
what type of? Go ahead.
Do you have any advice for really long hair in pin curls?
Yes. So I should have. No, I shouldn't have. Next time I'll just show examples with this doll. I think I got this side wet. That's what I get. So one side of her head, I combed out. So this is what happens if you have very long hair and you use pin curls that are too big. So one, I'm gonna move my thing so I can see. One good way to sort of pretend and have that look of shorter hair without cutting off your hair, I'll move my phone so you can see, is you pin curl your hair in the bottom, right? And you can do this depending on how thick your hair is. You can do this for 1 or 2 rows. And then when it comes time to actually pull your hair down, don't take these rows down because you don't need that length. And that hair that's on top will mask all of that. Does that make sense? If you have thin hair, you could even, as we have one girl, I can't remember her name. What is her name? She had like mermaid hair. And I think at one point we had to take this whole back section of her head and we braided it, did a French braid in the back, and we pinned it and used it as a base for the rest of the curls. So that is an option. Just to mimic that bob that we're not telling you to cut a bob, but to mimic the bob. And what else will I say about, oh yeah, that's what I mean when I say be like gracious with yourself, because if you have mermaid hair, these women all cut their hair to be like very short. So we're not trying to make you have exactly that look. But we could always finesse the situation. And I can show, I'll do this. I'll also show images of alternatives for women with super long hair and women with curly hair. Question?
Hey, Ariel.
Yes.
I have a question of like, do you have any tips on how to section out your hair well? Because I mean, I'm really bad at doing my hair. So when I try to section out hair, somehow it always like gets mixed up, and I'm like, oh my god, and it gets kind of.
Cool. Yeah. We could do that. So as a hairstylist, just do what I do and when I think and see strangers every day. So divide your hair in 4 sections. You want to get the ear forward and the ear back separated, and then you want to divide it down the middle, and that way you can keep track. Something that I didn't mention, and I will turn her around so y'all can see, is when you do your part in the front, you're going to want to use your right eyebrow as your reference. Right where that arch is, that's going to be your part because it's a pretty deep part. We don't need to be by our nose. We don't need to be by the beginning of our eyebrow. We need to be right over here. So yeah, you would have a section here. You would have a section here, ear forward section. And then the back of the ear would be divided into 2 halves. And if you have a lot of hair and you like, that's not enough, you can subdivide them. Nothing wrong with that. If you are doing pin curls, the rule of thumb is the section that you take, as far as creating that pin curl, the size of your curl should dictate the size of the section you take. If you take a bigger section, you will run the risk of it not drying like it should and it not sitting like you want it. If you take a section that's too small, you will probably just overwork yourself. So I guess I could show you an example of too big and too small. I do get that I am working on a mannequin head, so it's like, you're not on your head. That's easier said than done. I can appreciate that. This is still wet. So let's do this one over. So this hair is still wet, so don't be fooled. But even the hair that's not wet, you can see a curl forming by itself. So let's see, let's give an example of a section that would be too small. If you're doing a section that is so tiny, so tiny, that you putting about 100 pin curls in your head, 1, that doesn't boost morale, but 2, that will make you very curly, very, very curly, which could be great, or could make you not want to kill yourself, but like it will make it very hard to tease it out and shape it later. If you do one that's too big, you will get something like this, which if you can see, it's cute, but it's not authentic. Let me see. Maybe like a piece of paper. Hold on. So y'all can see it. That's too dark. If you get a piece like this, which is too big, just so we can see how big that curl is. Like, that's cute, but that's not authentic. That's not the size you want for this set. Can you see this? Can y'all see it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cute. That's a look, but that's not what you want. But if you get a set like this one, itty bitty. Where is that? Itty bitty. Like, you're gonna be in it for 2 hours. Now, if you want to spend 2 hours pin curling your hair, more power to you. I support it, but you don't have to. I don't recommend it. So, divide your hair into sections. And if your hair is the type of hair that dries really quickly, don't wet your whole head. just wet it section by section. So you can make sure you're resaturating and putting that product in evenly. Because the problem I find, especially with ladies who have like thick hair, is they don't saturate. All the products usually like right on top, and all this hair underneath doesn't get any product. So when they take it down, the top will be super crisp and do exactly what it's supposed to do, and the bottom will fall. And that's because you don't have that product, which is giving you memory. Let's see. Let me finish finessing this side. Another option, if you are a lady who is like, look, I want to be on that team, but I can't do it. I don't have the skill set. You can also do foam rollers. Foam rollers are pretty easy. Foam rollers are real easy. I wish I had, where's my hairspray? I don't know. I should look for my hairspray. Foam rollers are really easy. They're also very forgiving. Pin curls are really forgiving, but foam rollers are even more so. Or even those harder rollers, the only thing I'll say is that I will tell everybody who does this set, you probably want to let it sit overnight, and then it's a lot harder. Like, I've slept with a roller set with regular rollers, and there's nothing like it in this world. You sleep on your face, not comfortable. The most comfortable set to sleep in is a pin curl set. But everybody's at their house, so know that this coaching is really geared towards you having longevity, like if you were outside or if you were performing and sweating. And I recognize that like we're at our house and the temperature is probably set very consistently around 70 and the humidity is relatively low. So you can probably cheat with a lot of things. And I don't even think anyone would notice. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got the bead. Oh, hairspray. I know a lot of girls depend on hairspray. A lot of girls don't put any products in and only put hairspray in their hair. I don't recommend that. However, when you finish it, if you want to put hairspray in and you want to let it hold, if you're going somewhere or you want it to be quite firm, got to be glued, you can find that anywhere. Walgreens, Walmart, any beauty supply. It's like a holy grail. This will stick. It will stay. You don't have to worry about it. It will be hard to comb out. Actually, I don't recommend you combing it out. But you want your curls to stay and you don't trust the Lotta Body or the mousse you just put in your hair to do the job, hairspray is also an option. I had a thought and I lost it. Let me think about it. I might have to grab one of the pins or one of the caps to show you how this traditionally fits. Because how many people have been chorus girls before and how many of us are new? Because if you've never done it.
I'm new with the hair.
You're new with the hair. How do you normally do it?
My hair is naturally curly, and I just work with it the best I can.
So you just pin and go.
Mm.
That's a good way. I'm not mad at that. And I can understand. Like I say, there is a lot of these ladies would actually fight to have curls. Am I gonna have to bobby pin? A lot of ladies would actually get perms once they came out because they wanted that look naturally. So if anything, you have a cheat code. Congratulations. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Let me let it sit. Maybe it'll stay. Let me think. Any thoughts off the back of my head? What would I say? What's ladies had concerned about? It doesn't dry. It has to stay for days. I have a video on turban. You should definitely look up turban. Just get used to that life because it just takes time. Here we go. I'm gonna go grab a hat. I've had ladies who say, let's see, my hair is long. I recommend pinning. Always pinning. If you use a curling iron, live your life. We're not in a position to make judgment calls. But if you use a curling iron, I recommend Let me see if I found one that is, I'm trying to think, I think it's a 1/2 inch. It is not a big curling iron. Just so that you can mimic the curl pattern that we were aiming for in the beginning. If you have curly hair and you want it to have that straight frizz, which is a look, I'm telling you, if you have curly hair and you're afraid of your hair looking too frizzy, for most of these women, that was the look that they were going for. That was the desired look in the first place. So don't fight. There's almost like a stigma because we live in an age where we don't like frizz. And we're kind of trying to get out of it now, but we live in a period where frizz isn't good and it should be sleek. That was not what they wanted. It's not what they did. They wanted volume and they wanted frizz. So don't be afraid of that. That's why if you have curly hair, you could totally use that to your advantage.
You're saying give in to the poodle?
You have a curly. Absolutely, that's what you want.
Okay.
The poodle is the goal.
Okay.
Poodle is the goal. Anytime people come, we would have performances and the ladies would do their pin curl sets, and they, maybe a little bit with their fingers, but you could still see solid curl patterns. Laura would be like, we're gonna have to comb that out. That's not what we're doing. I understand it's cute. That's not what we're doing. You really have to keep that in mind. Like I said, we tend to like to fight frizz, but that is not the look for the chorus girls. We want poodle. Thank you. That's the perfect term. We want poodle above the ear, around the head. You can be sleek and smooth on top because traditionally there's a hat or a little pin that we put on top, but and look, this is the size curling iron you want to use, which most women, I don't think most women have one this size. Did you see how small that is? Especially if you have fine hair, fine straight hair, which is what most of the ladies who use curling irons have. This is the size you would need. Not, let's see, an example of what we wouldn't want. If we can find it. Not something this size. That's not gonna do it.
Are you using, Ariel, about a 1 inch barrel there? So
I feel like that's a 3/4 inch.
3/4?
I don't think it's an inch because this one's 1.25 inches, the purple one. Yeah, I think that might be a 3/4 or a 1/2 inch. I won't say a 1/2 inch because that's traumatic,
Okay,
but it's
thanks.
small. It's pretty small. You're welcome. Let's see. Yeah, this is the cheat code for the long hair lady. And we did the front. I can finish the front while we talk. And I can also post pictures of ladies that I have done and who did it themselves and how their hair looks, because I already know. It's hard and it's easier said than done. When I do it, and I'll be honest, when I do it or when I had to perform, I always wore a wig because I wasn't about that life. I just wore a finger wave wig and called it a day. However, if I did have to do my hair, and my hair is 4A, kinky curly, so if I did have to do my hair, then my thought process would be to stretch it or just perm rod set it, because perm rod sets are just easier. And it'll give me, like I say, that poodle look, and it'll look really short because you want it to look as short as possible. Oh, if you are a mermaid, if you have hair that is 12 inches or longer, keep this in view in your tummy. If you have hair that's 12 inches or longer and you really want to try to get those itty bitty curls, then I recommend a lot of work for you. You can use one finger and do all your pin curls, and your hair will pick up. Like, I have picked up hair, and it will go from around your boobs, mid-length, to up here. It can happen. It just means that if you want to do that, your curls need to be small, real small. Remember, the bigger your curl is in the set, the bigger the curl will be when it's dry. And remember, I'll say it again, I got a whole PowerPoint on it. I could post that too. I just usually we have 2 hours for the workshop. This is just an hour today. The section of the pin curl and the section of the side of the size of the section and the size of the pin curl need to match. Cool. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I can go individually. Let's go through. Let's start from the top. All right. Any more questions? Let me see. Miss Linda, what you doing with your hair? You doing finger waves? What you doing? We can talk individually now. We'll just run through the line.
Yeah, I'm thinking of either a wig or a finger wave.
Gotcha. Finger waves would be cool if you have keep this close. If you have the patience and the time, it would definitely be worthwhile. Nice little finger wave.
I think I have somebody who can do it for me.
Ooh,
so
that's
that
nice.
it would look better if somebody actually did it.
Gotcha. She's
So
like, that's
I
not.
might do that.
No, I think that would be cool. And like I say, I think I guess I could repost it again. I had the wig that I wear, which is like a finger wave wig. It's easier. I won't say it's not easier, but if you do have curly hair, you can achieve it. But no, that short hair it's so fun because you can either be like, I'm gonna try this, be like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna slap a wig on top because it's not really that serious to me.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see next. Maisha, how you say your name, Mom?
Yeah, Maisha.
Yeah, Jimmy. How we doing? What we doing? What's our plan?
The plan would be I'm gonna try. So when you say that you're gonna try to stretch it as an alternative to the orange roller set, because I think I might just, that sounds the easiest thing possible. To the orange roller set. If not, stretching before doing pin curls. So stretching, so washing it, then doing like a braid, then undoing the braids, a braid out to stretch it. Or I'm not good at braiding my hair, so I just probably would do a twist, like a 2-strand twist. Okay. So a twist out.
Yep.
So that it's stretched, and then I would not re-wet it, or I would kind of a little bit re-wet it to put mousse in order to do pin curls.
If you re-wet it, I would only use the product.
Okay.
Because the more wet we get, the more it'll revert.
Right. So if I use a 2-strand twist out, have it stretched some, then just use some mousse and do a pin curl set.
Yes.
Okay. So in order to get the top to be flat, though, that would then just need to be braided, I guess. Flat twist or okay. Yeah.
Ooh, flat. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just flat twist and then maybe pin curl the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. All right, cool. Now we have a plan. Kristen. Yeah, what we doing? Oh no, I can't hear you. Where are you? Oh. No, trash. No. All right, we'll come back. When that, like, work on it or put it in the chat box. We will not forget you. Hold on. Oh, it's upsetting. Man. Miss Emily, you're next on my queue.
Is that me? Or is there another
Emily?
Okay.
Emily Vale.
Yeah. I have mermaid hair.
Cool.
And it's really long.
Cool.
And it's really thick, but it's also very fine. And bobby pins like leap from my head when I try to put them in. So I'm very nervous about all this.
That sounds like you need smaller sections.
Okay.
That sounds like you would need smaller sections, definitely. And then that sounds like that would be very tiresome. I understand that. So maybe focus on if you wanted to be that girl, do your whole head. If you wanted to take baby steps, pin curl your hair correctly. Yeah, you can. Pin curl your hair correctly all around the front, above your ear. Like work on that. Like work on it, like, because you can see it also in the mirror.
Yep.
That makes life so much easier. And then in the back, I'm not gonna say don't do it, but like I said, like set up maybe that base, that foundation, and just braid your hair up and pin it in the back. And then only do, if your hair is thick, only do, like sitting here with two screens. There we go. Only do this top portion. Like where that head starts to curve, put pin curls there and stop. And then when you take it down, just let those pin curls fall over all that long hair. And then that way you can still get that look when you perform around your face. You still get your curls around your face, and you can still work on perfecting those curls where everyone can see it, but everything else, like, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth your stress. It's not worth it. That's my thought.
Thank you.
Is there anything else? Permit hair, down. You good? Do you have any other questions out the gate? Have you wet set your hair before?
Nope.
No. You should start practicing.
And just to clarify, this takes like days, right? This is not like.
Yes. It's like do it 2 days before. It's not like do it the night before or do it the morning of. It's like do it days before. Unless you have a hooded dryer, then you can cheat. But if you don't have a hooded dryer, you have to let it air dry. And that just takes time. I would also say just shampoo your hair with like a good clarifying shampoo. Let it air dry, which sounds icky. And then use your mousse or your Lotta body. Let all that extra water leave your hair so that you can speed up your dry time a little bit. Cool? Awesome. Okay. Miss Carol. Oh no. Take your mute, turn the mute off.
I had the question about with the front part, how do you get it to stay? It's my understanding it's supposed to be behind the ears like this and stay, but how do you get it to stay if you're not using a barrette or something to really hold your hair while you're moving? How do you get it like that?
You could totally use a barrette.
You can use the barrette, okay.
Absolutely. You can use a barrette, or that's when bobby pins are super handy. Absolutely cheat. If you pin curl your hair and you don't get your set past your ear for whatever reason, and you're just like, it won't stay, definitely use a barrette. Absolutely.
Okay.
I would not tell you not to do that. I would never. That would be torture.
It is.
Yeah, like that would be like, I require you to have the perfect pin curl set so that your hair will be right. No, I'm not going to do that. That is not that's not the goal.
And are we supposed to have it pinned behind the ear? Is that
pinned? There's usually a curl right above that ear.
Okay.
The curls usually start right above the ears. Just
Okay.
a little something. That's where it begins. Most of your volume should not be by your eyebrow though. Like up here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Margaret, how you doing? Oh no.
Hello.
Yes, there it is. Hey,
Hi.
man.
I'm normally a big I'm a big fan of cheating and just rolling my hair in big curls and pinning them to my head. I did that for the last video and it got passed and I was really happy about that. That's not going to work this time.
Oh yeah, because we had it tied up.
Most of the questions I would have, I think, have been covered. I think it's just doing it. I have very thick hair. I don't have a lot of it right now. Well, my internet is not great. But yeah, it's just gonna be practicing. I just have a lot of hair. It's very thick hair, and like the strands are very thick. So I just have to play with how much water I put in and how much product I put in before I set it, I think.
Yes. Start air dry completely with no product. That is the thing. If you use leave-in conditioner, because most of us modern girls use leave-in conditioners and like other things to give us health and moisture, if you use that and you have an issue with your curls staying, try to back off a little bit.
I have
It's not a feel-good style.
I forget to use it. So
Well, that's another conversation. But cool. Continue that habit. Keep that energy for this set. Keep that energy. That's fun. Just like, I have one. And cool. Yep. Keep that energy. It's not a feel good set. The hair doesn't feel like soft and luscious. Like it's like a poodle. It's got a little bit of texture to it. And that's the point. So it's all good. Practice.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Stephanie.
Yeah, I asked a question about the sectioning before, but yeah, I'm just kind of nervous because I'm just really bad at hair. Like I got my first straightening iron at age like 31. I still don't know how to use it that well. But yeah, I think it's just practicing, I guess. We'll see.
Yes, definitely. If you just never in your life and you just don't imagine ever doing this on a daily basis, but you like start in the front, get your confidence up in the front. And then once you like get that together, then come to the back. Start in the front though, where you can see. Cause like I can't do the back of my head. I understand. I don't know what goes on back there. None of us do. It's totally fine. Start in the front, small section. Does your hair hold a lot of water or take a while to dry?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So yes, definitely shampoo with a good clarifying shampoo. Let it air dry. And then put your product in. You don't want to cut it with as much water either, because your hair will take a really long time to dry, especially with that product in, and especially rolled up. So if you feel it and you're like, it feels dry, it's probably not. Probably not. It's a lie.
And if you have to do this, like I guess like 2 days before we're like going to work, because like I work in a hospital. Like, do I wrap it up? I guess in a scarf or like.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, don't make it feel weird and no one say anything. They'll be like, all right, that's just what she's doing now. Fine. That's her life. It's fine. Cool.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Tank.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
I'm not too bad, but I have a mohawk and really short hair right now, so I'm not totally sure what I'm gonna do yet.
Oh no, it's gonna be great. You have a mohawk all the way to the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be great because you don't have as much to roll, so you're gonna be flying through. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. The less hair, the better. Never know. Less hair, the better.
My bangs. Yeah, my bangs are really short. I probably won't be able to curl those much.
Nope, keep them how they are. That'll be your touch. We have a lot of ladies with micro bangs and they just keep them. And then just use the rest of your hair and you could kind of mold it around your bald pieces. Or not bald, but shaved pieces.
Yeah, they're bald. I shave them to the skin.
She's like, no, they're gone. Like, all right, cool. And that's it. Yeah, that'd be easy. You got that.
Thanks.
You got it covered. You're welcome. Awesome. All right. Let me see. Keep running. Miss Katie, do you have questions?
I typically curl my hair with a curling iron for like when I want that look, but I've done the wet set pin curls, which has worked well since my hair is pretty short. I think I pretty much got it.
Cool.
I haven't done it in a while, so.
Oh, that'd be fun. All right, cool. So you cheat, but you know the way.
Yeah, I'll do it the right way for this time.
Yep. I respect it. Cool. Miss Erin?
I think I'm good. My hair is long like Emily's, and I think I just can try pin curls and probably take the longer layers in the back and leave the pin curls in because there are shorter layers up here that'll come down and curl over them.
Cool. All right, cool.
We'll see if it's cool.
It was like, I'll let you know how cool it is.
Yeah.
I respect it. All right, cool. Just checking. You're welcome. Miss Lauren.
I have to find my mute button. This is basically this is still wet from being rained on, but I have super curly hair, but it's only a mohawk.
Cool.
with badly grown out sides because, haircut needed.
Yeah.
But there's no back, so I kind of just skip it, and the back parts are a little shorter and just pin them forward. My problem is usually that my hair this is still damp, so my hair is a giant poof. So in the past, I've just had to like put some of that Lotta body on and like flatten it and like pin it down for like 2 days. I think that's basically my plan so far.
Always wet. Do you start it from damp hair and then do your wet set? Do you have water still in your hair before you put a lot of body in it?
I usually, in the past, I put conditioner in, but maybe I won't this time. And it'll dry a little better because even with 2/3 of my hair cut off, this takes 2.5 days to dry with a lot of body.
Yeah, you're impressive.
Yeah, I washed my hair this morning, so it's still wet.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, use your conditioner, rinse it out, and let that. You don't have to let it air dry, but just rinse that out. Yeah, that by itself, that'll take the weight.
Okay.
And it'll allow your hair to dry a little quicker. Yes. Cool.
Okay. And then just embrace the poodle.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think, like I said, I think people like to go too far to how we do it now, and that's not what we're working with. Live for that. We live for this. All that.
I'm for the full frizz.
Yes. Like I want to dry, but yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yep. Cool. Sienna.
Shauna.
Damn. Just not even cool.
I'm used to it, trust me. I have always cheated before and actually just had somebody do my hair. So I guess I'm just gonna have to practice the wet set. I do have a question. The pin curls for the front, are they always gonna be pinned with the curl towards the back, or are they gonna come towards the front?
Towards the front.
Towards the front. Okay,
towards
so I'm gonna pull and come towards the front.
Yes,
okay.
Ma'am.
All right.
For authenticity. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I guess I'm gonna have to practice.
Yes. Don't worry about the back. Like if the back's not a thing, it's like don't worry about the back. Don't stress about that. Don't stress about the back. But yeah, just the front. Keep them towards your face because that is traditionally how they walk.
Okay. Yeah, it just kind of does what it wants to. So.
Yeah, that too. Awesome. Yuri. Oh, also, I just want y'all to see that. I pin curled it for like 10 minutes and it already perked up considerably. That's a lot of work though. Miss Yuri.
Well, I have very long hair too, till my waist. So what I usually do is get the best wig.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend all the time because I'm gonna be dancing. So for when we have events, I can do the finger waves and just get something in the back. But for this, there is, I don't know, I suppose just curl it or get my famous wig or.
Maybe it would be easier for you to
get the wig.
Yeah, no, definitely. I support a wig life all day. But you could try sponge rollers.
Yeah.
Because sponge rollers, yeah, you can still see me. Sorry, I'm very pregnant. Very tired. Because sponge rollers, I don't know. It just makes it a lot easier to roll. Like I feel like it's a lot more, like I can see the progress. Rather than pin curls, it's just like if you got all that hair and you're wrapping and it's just like, and then it's too big and then you can't pin it and that's very frustrating.
So I'm gonna curl the rollers down, all the way down, right? And
yes, ma'am.
Like this rolls.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yep. Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Melissa. Oh, good. Nina likes sponge rollers. Cool.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. my hair is real thick. I just got out of the shower, so it's wet now. But it's just to my shoulders, and it's got a little bit of natural wave to it, but it's really thick. It usually like comes from here and then just kind of goes out. So I don't know how to tone that down, or do I want that?
Actually, for the set, it's ideal. That triangle head, that, like when you get an old haircut and it just gets wider right around like below your cheekbones. That's actually ideal for this set because they have a lot of width here. So for this, it's fine.
Do we brush out our pin curls after they come out, and then that nice little curl? We just brush them out and then spray them down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So you can finger, you can use a wide tooth comb, depending on how well your curls hold.
Okay.
And you can use a boar bristle brush or like a Mason Pearson just to smooth the top layer. We don't want to lose all the width. We just want to, if you want to smooth a little bit, just smooth the top, just a smidge, and that's it.
Okay. And what do we do if our hair's cut in layers? Like I've got some layers down, just roll each layer?
Yeah. Or you can fake the lack of layers. And when you pin, like I said, that top portion that we want to keep fairly smooth, maybe maybe curl it. If your layers are particularly short on top, maybe just pin curl the very ends of it, because we don't want to emphasize that that's a layer by itself.
Okay.
And then follow your layers as you go.
Okay, great.
So your hair doesn't get too big at the crown, because your hair will get big.
Yeah, it will. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Melissa, you done your hair lots of times. Do you have questions? I'll give you like 8 more minutes. We should be finished in like 8 minutes. She hasn't said anything. She might be gone. Arcelia?
Yeah,
Celia?
hi. Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Hey.
Hey, so my question is, my hair's pretty thick and pretty long as well. How are we pinning it up? I'm worried about once it's done and taken out and brushed out a little bit, like how do I get it to look like a bob, because it's pretty long.
Do you know how to braid your hair?
Yes.
Let's take hair off. Take we call it like the occipital, we have the occipital bone. So maybe take mid-ear or right under that ear, depending on how your hairline fits, and just do a braid make sure I can see this, from here to here, like a cornrow.
Okay.
And then bobby pin the rest of your hair that's not cornrow to your scalp on top of it or underneath it. Let's say on top. And then you don't have to deal with like a quarter of your head up to a third, depending on how long it is and how thick it is. So you could pin curl it. That is an option. Some people do that, but I really prefer the braid personally because it's quicker. And I wouldn't put you through the stress of having to go through pin curling it unless you want to wear it with the pin curls after the performance. That would be the only reason I'd say not to braid it.
Okay.
So pin curl it and keep it pinned, or braid it and use that as your base so that you can pin the rest of that hair into that bob shape for you.
Okay.
Yes?
We're gonna try.
Cool. We're in the group, y'all can always message me and be like, Ariel, it ain't right. Y'all can send me like progress, like something ain't right, this ain't it. And I'll just be like, all right, let's look at it. All good. Good. Let's see, Lil? Who's Lil?
I'm in the same boat. I'm Lil.
Hey, Lil.
I don't know if you can see me. So I have like really long, and I'm in the same boat of like not wanting to deal much with it. So I'm taking your last note on just braiding most of it, and then just doing the outer layers, the main part.
You have
And
thick hair?
yeah, it's like really, really thick, especially in the back.
Yeah.
So it's obnoxious to deal with a lot of times. So you would say like do it a day before, you said?
Yeah. Or two.
Okay.
If you
Cool.
know how long it takes, like the time it takes for your hair to dry when it's down, you need to at least double that when it's pinned up. So if
Okay.
you're at 8 to 12 hour, my hair isn't dry yet, like double that at least.
Okay, that's helpful. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And there's one more, Nina. Oh, your hair's pretty. Nina does like finger waves up front. Ooh. Nina, do you have any questions? This is the last one, and then we're done. Nope, I think she popped off. I think. So I think we're done. I think. Did I get everybody? All right, it's Nina. Hey, Nina.
Also have long hair. It's super straight. I missed most of this. I'm sorry. I was in another Zoom call, but I'm glad that you're.
Word struggle. Your hair is long, it is straight. Pin curls. Leave your pin curls in the back section of your head. Just leave them in there. Leave them in. Your hair is very straight, so maybe air dry your hair completely, and then apply a lot of body oil mousse directly to your hair. Use it like water instead of water. Because women who had straight hair back in the day, they honestly like got perm. They don't talk about that. Like they also just got perm. So don't feel bad. There's nothing wrong with your hair. People just chemically manipulated it all the time.
I'm thinking of doing the braiding underneath thing. I think that was a good tip. So
cool. Awesome. Very good.
I have a
All right, cool.
question before we
Yes,
go.
ma'am.
That's okay. I've done this like a million times, and so I think I have it. But the one problem that I always have is sweating. Like, is there a product that's not going to make my hair just fall down through sweating through the routine?
No. If you told me that it still falls while you sweat, what would we do? How can we make like a buffer? I wonder if we would, if you get like, are you talking like on the back of your neck?
I mean, just like
Or like everywhere.
Everywhere, because then my hair just gets wet and it just falls.
Well, that's interesting. I would say that's very, very specific. I would say use lots more products.
Okay.
And then I would double it. The only way I would say it's too much is if it don't you don't get no crunch. Like if it's crunchy to the point where it don't uncrunch, it just stays there. Then that's probably too much, and we should probably stop. But use more products, and then because your hair's you're like up in here, you're in like a mid-leg place, so you can even do your pin curls, or you could do roller sets because remember how I talked about that volume off the scalp.
Mm-hmm.
If you are taking your curl off your scalp, then more of that hair will be, or less of that hair will be prone to being affected by the sweat. Does that make sense?
Yes. So do more of a curl by the scalp, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say if it's like a sweat issue, it's like my scalp gets sweaty and then my curls tend to dry up. You could either do a pin curl set. You can either do a pin curl set like this off the scalp, so that it dries off your scalp.
That's how I usually.
Or you can either awesome, or you could do a roller set.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be it. I would say either do that or just more product, and got to be glue hairspray. Because nothing gets through this except shampoo.
Okay.
Like nothing. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. Thank you for your patience and all the things. I guess I'll do this a couple times and show y'all examples in the group throughout the week. definitely try it this week. I don't know when other videos do. I'm not even sure. I'm a bad student.
I heard July 15th. I read July 15th.
Cool. So definitely try it. If you got stuff this weekend, don't do it this weekend. Definitely try it this week. Give yourself time. If you've got a lot of hair, which a lot of us seem to have a lot of hair, very thick, give it 2 days. Just wrap it up. Live your life. Live your life. And let it dry. And then comb it out. Because the biggest issue is people don't let it dry. And so you kind of got to finesse what you have. But if you just let it dry, it'll be a whole new world for the thick hair ladies. Like, you'll be like, oh, wow, this is great. It will stay for days. But yeah, that's it. I am done. Thank you for all your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciated it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for your time.
No, absolutely. And then, like I said, tag me. Y'all got questions? If y'all are struggling, just tag me. Let me know. We'll work it out together.
I have one more question, sorry. But everyone, bye. I love you guys and can't wait to do the video with you. One more question. So when trying to do the pin curl, I have tried before. I think I'll take your note about that the clips are easier than the bobby pins, because I feel like when I've tried to do the bobby pin, it won't open up enough, and it's just, or maybe the section is just too big to where the bobby pin, it'll just backslide itself off. and I'm just like okay. And if I'm trying to pin it, you mentioned the direction of putting the curl, so actually pinning it towards your face instead of towards the back.
Yes,
so if I'm twisting it, trying to get it there, twisting it, trying to get it there, do I pin it from the outside in to the center of the curl, or from the inside of the curl to the outside of the curl? If you know what I mean, like there's like, okay, there's a circle. So should I put the pin from the outside of the circle to the inside of the circle, or put the pin from the inside of the circle towards like the outside of the back of the circle? I don't know if you have your doll or something.
Okay, I was like staring at it like,
yeah.
Yeah. So first question, yes, sounds like your section's too big for your pins, but the single prong clips do have a little more grip to them. Just keep it in mind. But don't be afraid to use 2 of them. Absolutely not. What else? What else did you say? Towards the face. You could always do your flat twist and then keep it in the flat twist and then pin curl it that way. That would also be another option, but that's not the question you asked. So when you're putting your pin curls in, this is a good example. I would prefer if you put your pin curls in, they have 3 parts of the curls. There's the base, the stem, and the curl, if I'm remembering that right. So the base is where you start your pin curl, right? That is where the hair is the thickest, and that is where the hair is the strongest. So you want to start that pin where your hair is thickest and strongest. And then, so usually you're sliding that in from the inside, or where you're starting that curl. Or like, see if I can hold it and do both. Or like, I'm starting my curl here, my base is here, my pins are lined up with my base. Versus this one, which was done very quickly. And if I'm not pinned on my base, you see how it moves?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the foundation. It's not as sturdy.
Yeah, it may not just be really pinned to anything. And yeah,
correct.
I have
You need to
I
pin
have
it.
a problem.
Yeah, then you pin it better. But you need to pin it to your base. And usually that comes from the inside. That's a good question though. I have a PowerPoint. I'll share that one too, because it has like little pictures and examples.
Nice, thank you. You mentioned something, so maybe I could do it not as a 2-step and maybe just like cheat and save myself some time. Do you think it would work to flat twist like a portion of it so that it can like stay down? Because my problem is too much volume, right? So I want it to lay down. So flat twist like a portion of it and then and then have the rest of it pin curl, and then like loose pin curl, like I mean, like I don't know, flat, like flat twist half of my hair and then pin curl the rest of the half up to the flat twist, and then once when it is dry, unpin curl and unflat twist, and then just try to use a wider tooth comb to then manipulate it and pin it down to how the desired look should be. Would that, in theory, work? You think?
Yes, it's very specific to you. What I would do, I would do that. I just thought about it. I would flat twist and then twist the rest of your hair, and then pin curl that twist. You won't have quite the same texture, curl texture, but it would be much easier.
Okay, so just flat twist and free.
Flat twist, continue your twist.
Yeah, like two
yep.
strand twist,
and then pin curl that twist.
Pin curl the twist.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when you have to take it down, do not use your wide tooth comb on your flat twisted section at all. Like, you can take it all down, but make sure that you're only picking and fluffing out your bottom layer, and you can fluff the rest of it out when the performance is over, and you don't need to worry about lack of volume. That's what I say.
Thank
Yep.
you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're
This is
welcome.
also helpful. Thanks.
Awesome.
Because I sometimes I get my wig and I think I've lost my wig and I don't feel like finding it.
I gotta get a new wig. Cool. Awesome. Very good. All right, look at y'all. Staying through long haul. Appreciate y'all. One more time, we're done. We're out. Y'all did great. Awesome. Let's see. Do we know to exit though? We'll see. Stop video. Leave conversation.